Heat kills chinchillas. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. It does kill chinchillas. Hi, my name's Ali and this is more of a public service announcement type of video, and this is because we're having a heat wave in the UK at the moment. So the reason why I'm making this video, I've seen a lot of posts in my Facebook feed over the last couple of days. One saying that heat stroke in chinchillas is a myth, which I can't even believe that I read that. Also another person saying that 30 degrees is fine for a chinchilla, they'll all be well and good, and that's about 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which is obviously massively too hot for them, and will cause them to potentially have heat stroke. I know most of my subscribers already know all this stuff, but I feel like if I make a video about it, maybe it'll get to more people that don't understand how serious heat is and how it can just kill a chinchilla. Now in the UK we don't really have aircon as standard in our houses. I know in America some places do, but in the UK it's really rare to have aircon as standard in your house because our summers are fairly brief and people just don't see the point in it. So I'm going to give you some top tips on how to keep your chinchilla cool in this weather and explain what happens if you don't. So the first thing is you can get portable aircon units. Now these will air condition a room. It's a good way to keep your chinchilla nice and cool, is to have one of these portable aircon units. I highly recommend, if you live in the UK, to invest in one of these because it will save you a lot of worry. They're not fail safe, they do sometimes break down, which is why I personally have three. I have a big aircon unit, I have two smaller portable aircon units, and I also have a generator because last year, I'll tell you a story, last year was one of the hottest days on record was recorded in the UK. On that day, a breeder that I know, the power in his area actually failed because the heat was so strong it was actually called the power cables to fail. Now he couldn't run his aircon unit because he had no power, and in his chinchilla unit he did have some chinchillas die. I think it was about 7 or 8 of his chinchillas died from heat stroke because he couldn't actually run his aircon unit. Now that frightened the flipping daylights out of me, so straight away I was on the internet and I ordered myself a generator, so basically I can run my aircon unit even if the power fails in my area. I can run an aircon unit comfortably. Can't run anything else, but I can run the aircon unit, which is the most important thing. Right, if you don't have aircon, which I really do recommend, I would suggest next things are you can use granite slabs. So you can buy these in pet shops, they're called chinchillas, I think they are. But you can actually just, what I do is I just go to my local B&M's, home bargains, and I buy chopping boards that are granite chopping boards, and what you do is you put those in the freezer, get them really cool, and then give them to your chinchilla, and your chinchilla can lay on them and hopefully it should cool them down. Next thing you can do is you can get your chinchilla dust and you can actually put it in a container, like a Tupperware container, whack it in the freezer, let it get nice and cold for several hours, and then give that dust to your chinchilla to dust bathe in. That can help keep them cool. You can also freeze vegetable cans, so things like tomatoes, beans, whatever, it doesn't really matter what vegetable it is, vegetable tins, put them in the freezer for a few hours, take them out, wrap them in fleece or something like that, and put them in the cage, and they can lean against them and get cool. Now all these things that are freezer based need to be replenished every few hours, so you have to be about to do it. Another thing you can do is you can fill a hot water bottle with ice cold water and then stick that in your chinchilla's cage. Obviously you need to wrap it in something so they don't chew on it, but you can do that as well. So ice cold water in a hot water bottle so they can sit on that. You can also move your chinchilla to the coldest part of your house. For me it's my bathroom, but honestly in this type of heat nowhere in my house is cold, so I'm quite glad that I have the aircon unit. Yeah, so signs that your chinchilla may be struggling with the heat are They'll be sleeping to one side, on their side. They may have dark red ears, really dark red ears, which shows that they're too hot. They may have trouble breathing, they may have trouble moving. Yeah, so, and chinchillas do die from this. Things that don't actually help, that people think do help, are things like fans and having an open window. I saw this the other day with somebody. They put their chinchilla up against a window, opened the window and went and put a Facebook post on saying, oh, my chinchilla's nice and cool because it's by an open window. That doesn't work, because chinchillas have such dense fur. That flow of air isn't going to get that's not going to do anything for them at all. The way that fans work with humans is that we sweat, and the air coming from that from the fan hits our sweat and causes us to cool down. It doesn't work at all with a chinchilla. It might make you feel colder, but it won't make your chinchilla feel colder. Another thing you probably don't want to be doing when it's hot weather is letting your chinchilla out for daily exercise. Exercise during the heat can be fatal as well, so it's best to keep them in their cage when it's hot weather. Also, if you have a wheel in your cage, remove the wheel, because any exercise is going to exasperate that heat and make them feel quite unwell. So yeah, during the hot weather, cut exercise out completely. Once the weather cools down again, you can let them out again, but really you've got to be ever so careful with exercise during the hot weather. Yeah, so they're my tips. Please just realise that heat stroke is a real thing and is really potentially very dangerous. Please, if you're going to get a chinchilla, you have to make arrangements of what to do if it's hot weather. It's one of the things you must consider when you get a chinchilla, because if you don't, you're going to end up with a dead chinchilla, and nobody wants that.